All right. So you are welcome to today's conversation, and the name of the course is research methods. Research methods. Yeah, the research methods. So this is very, very important. Search methodology or the search methods. The methods that we use when we are researching actually is the name of the course. Are you able to see the screen that I am sharing, and are you able to hear me clearly?
Yes, and we allow that clear.
Thank you. Yes, you all may be aware that last time we defined data. Let me start from there. We defined data from statistics. We said data refers to the symbols, refers to the facts, refers to the bits and some pieces that you combine together to produce information, right? That is what we said last time. Data is all about that. Now, what is going to happen is that, and follow nicely, I want to present this as a story so that you get it clearly. So what is going to happen is that after you have collected all the data, actually, people sit down to organize this data. They analyze the data, they interpret the data, and communicate the information that they extract through the data in form of books. They write books, they write articles, okay? They write magazines. They just produce a lot of literature out of data. The data could be any sounds, any information, any numbers, any pictures that can be combined in a particular pattern so that you can obtain some information. Actually, it is these data that you put together um, that are combined in a particular pattern so that you have the information embedded in the books that are at the results. That's why we have got the universities, we have got the colleges, we have got the institutions of learning. We go to school even to learn, or we sit before the elderly people to learn. Why we learn is just because there are some data that was combined in a particular pattern and produced the information. And that information, we are not aware of it. So we are always hungry for that information. That information can save us and help us to answer some life questions. It can help us to answer those questions. For that reason, it gets to be called the knowledge. So we are always out there to look for some knowledge, look for some knowledge in different fields of study. Now, what happens in academics? Am I audible enough, or am I speaking so fast so that I slow down? You are able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. What usually happens, what happens in academics is that as you learn up to some certain way, up to a certain, from maybe when you start school, preschool, up to somewhere third year, you get to learn that you would have read most of the books. And actually, there will be, at some degree, at some point, there will be no need of you sitting down and learn from anyone. I mean, learn being in class, because you would have had the capacity, okay, to teach yourself a lot of things. You would have gained some enough tools to help you learn. And the knowledge, the question is that where is the knowledge coming from that we are learning in schools? Get it that people went out, collected data, organized the data, produced that information, and made those books, the articles that you study in university. So at some point, you would have exhausted most of the books in the field of study where you are in, okay? I would say maybe you are pursuing a bachelor's in finance, accounting and finance. You would have read most of the books there that are produced yet in finance, okay? By the time you reach somewhere fourth year. So what you're going to be doing is that I'm giving you the idea behind research. So after you have read most of these books, so what follows next? Because what is there is what we know is that the knowledge that people have already produced is not exhaustive. Okay, the knowledge that is already available is not exhaustive. That is not all what we need to learn alone. There is a lot that we need to learn, even what people have not yet discovered. Follow me nicely. There is a lot of information that we don't know that people have not yet even discovered. People have not yet come to understand. For example, people have been researching about the cures for some, going a little bit into the medical field, the cures of some diseases. Up to now, they are still researching. Up to a certain point, they will discover the medication and they will start giving out the medication because they researched and they discovered the new information. At some point, there was not even a vaccine for COVID-19, if you remember, very soon, a few years ago. But people went down to research to look for new information until they discovered. Okay. So what I'm trying to say in a nutshell is that there is always room to go and find out the new information that you may not find in the books. Get this one? The information that may not be printed in the books, the information that you may not even find in the notes anywhere, written anywhere, not even in any article. Because that information you need to discover it yourself. Okay. So now this is where research comes in. So research is defined as follow. Before I define research, are we together? Am I able to, are you able to hear me clearly? Have people gotten me?
Yes.
Okay. What is research now? Follow nicely. People have been misusing this word. According to the Advanced Learners Dictionary of the Current English, it lays down the meaning of research as follows: that it is a careful investigation or inquiry, especially through search for new facts. The key word here is new. New facts in any branch of knowledge. A careful investigation, a very careful inquiry, especially through search for new facts in any branch of knowledge. That is according to the dictionary. That is what research is. Research is about bringing out the new facts. New, they have never been there. That's why when you're researching, your research has to be new and original. You have to bring out the new things that have never been there before. That is very interesting. You bring out the facts that you cannot find in any book, anywhere. You are the only one, you are the first one to discover that. That is what research is all about. It is a systematic effort to gain new knowledge. That is what research is all about. So research can still be defined as a systematic approach to obtaining and confirming new and reliable knowledge. So a systematic approach to obtaining and confirming new and reliable knowledge is what research is all about. Now, we are researching in business, okay? We also do research in business. Since you are in the business school, what is business research? And I will give the definition slowly. Business research is a process of planning, acquiring, analyzing, and disseminating relevant data and information and insights to decision makers in ways that mobilize the organizations to take appropriate action that, in turn, maximize business performance. That is what business research is all about. It is a process of planning. Number one, during the business research, you plan, you acquire, and analyze. Not only that, you also disseminate relevant information, and some insights to decision makers, okay, in ways that can mobilize these organizations to take appropriate actions so that the business performance can be maximized. That is what business research is all about. So you are acquiring new information. You do your search. And the reason why we are doing business research, we are trying to find out new facts. We see the problems around. So we have to gain the new facts. And those new facts, they should help the decision makers make the decisions that should mobilize the organization so that it can take some appropriate actions for us to have our business performance maximized. This time around, I call for any question. Do I have any question already? Or any clarity somewhere? We have defined what research is. Have you known what research is? So in research, it is not research. People are saying, no, I'm going to research. Imagine, you are just going to read in a certain book. You want to read about a certain definition of something. Then you say, no, according to my research. That is reading. That is studying. It's not researching. Researching is about bringing out the new facts. So what is it that we are going to be doing in research methodology? Okay, I think that's the question that you should ask yourself. What is it that we are going to be doing in what? In research methods. Here, we are giving you now the techniques, okay, that should help you, leading you in that process of acquiring the new facts, the new information, adding to the board of knowledge. So there is the mechanism, there are some techniques that are used that have been accepted generally worldwide, everywhere. So those techniques are the ones that we want to look at. We call them the research methods. Are we okay now? Have you known what research methods is all about? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you for the feedback. See, that's what we do in research methods. So we are going to run you through, we are going to lead you, give you the step-by-step that you need to follow, all the steps that you follow towards this acquisition of the new knowledge. Before we continue with the steps that are involved, research can still be defined as the expansion, of the frontiers of knowledge. It is about adding to the board of knowledge. Let me show you this. Let's say in the year 1990, this is how much people knew about a certain field of study. In the year 2000, the knowledge base increased a bit. I can show you that there are some books that were written that no one had ever gone to the moon, right? Not until a few years when some people went to the moon and the story changed. People get to know new things after some time. Then now we are in 2010. Let's have 2010. Have you seen what is happening? 2020, this is how much we have known in the field of study. It is increasing. So what we'll have in 2023 will be this. 2023. So what research is all about is expanding from where this knowledge ends in the field of study. In your field of study, it is accounting. You are to ask your question, what do we know already in accounting? Oh, this is what is known. This is what is published in the books. Then you are to add to the new knowledge, add new knowledge. That's what we mean by expanding the frontiers of knowledge now. So what we will know by 2026 is to be something much more than what we already know. So research is about expanding the frontiers of knowledge, bringing out the new things that have not been discovered by anybody before. Okay. There are steps that are involved. And those steps that are involved in coming up with research are usually embedded in what is known as a research proposal. Okay. You are going, I am sure this in just within this course. Ultimately, once we are done learning this course, we have understood it. We should be actually to be a requirement that each one of you should come up with a research research proposal. What a research proposal is all about, you are proposing to your lecturers, you are proposing to the researchers in the department that there is this field of study, there is this problem so far that you think after reading all the books available, that problem has not yet been solved. There has not been any book, there has not been any article written about that problem. So you need to go and find out the solutions to that problem. Okay. And once you find the solutions to that problem, then you're going to publish the solutions. And then other researchers like us here, plus other researchers, we are going to agree with you if your research is done in a way that is acceptable, that indeed this is the new knowledge that you have added to us. Then we'll publish your knowledge. It will be given to the books. We'll write, those will be articles. It will be what is known as a thesis. So you start, people will start reading about the new discovery that you have discovered. So there will be what is known as a research proposal, which is just you are proposing to the researchers in your department how you are going, proposing to them that there is this problem, which we call the research question. For example, I'll give you the examples of such research questions. There is this problem or there is this research question that after I have read the books, I think people have not exhausted, they have not answered that question. So I want to go and find out what really happens. Okay. What really does what does happen. And once you discover that this is what really does happen, this is the relationship of these variables, then we publish that. I'll give you for example, when I was doing my undergraduate, my bachelor's degree those days, I'll start from the bachelor's degree. Mine research, the research question was on the impact. Let me give you this one. The impact of, exchange rates. This question is economic in nature because, I was trained as an economist. You might be aware. The impact of exchange rates on import demand. This is a question, okay. This is a question, it's a research question that was looking at examination of what exchange rates do on import demand. Or in other words, how do the exchange rates, the dollar, the kwacha, whatever, those exchange rates, how does that impact on imports, like on how much people import from outside? That was my question, okay? That research question has never been done anywhere in the world. And my findings were the only findings, actually, and they are published when you go to the University of Zambia economics department, or when you go to just down there when you go to the library, there is what you call special collection. You'll find this thesis. It was published by myself, and no one has ever done this in the world, and no one has ever asked this question. I was the first one, and to discover the findings, actually the impact, I established the impact. That is how I was awarded a degree. Okay, so I think you have gotten the gist behind the research questions. So you come up with a research question, and don't worry about how to come up with a research question. We'll show you how we come up with a research question. So once you come up with a research question that has never been asked and provide solutions out of research, then you are done. So that's what the research proposal is all about. So you're giving the blueprints. You're telling the researchers, proposing to them, this is what we are going to do. This is my question. For example, my question was the impact of exchange rates on what? On import demand. That was the thesis for that. Just give you that example to start with. So this question I proposed is a problem. Then the following step that happened was to write a statement problem. I have to justify that this is indeed a problem. What I mean is that justify to other researchers that not knowing the impact of exchange rate on demand is a problem. Okay, so in short, you are justifying your problem, the problem that you are researching. You are showing everyone, you want to get everyone agree that indeed this is a problem and we need solutions. Because if you fail to justify, you fail to give out, justify your problem, then there will be no need of researching in that problem. So you need to justify properly so that you help others realize that this is indeed a problem and we need solutions. Once you have written a problem statement, then you undergo the following steps in what is known as the following steps. You take or you go through the following steps. In research. So these are the following steps that you are going to follow. Number one, are you able to see this? Number one, this is the research process that I'm presenting to you. The first thing that you do is to define a research problem. Okay, that's the process. Define a research problem. And this is what you're going to be learning. I'm summarizing the whole course. Number one, you learn how we define the research problem. It is a question of what is a problem. People don't know what is a problem. They don't even know what is wrong. So for you to learn how to identify what is wrong, we'll sit you down in class and teach you so that you know that this is wrong. So once you define a research problem, which is also called your question, right? Then you can validate your question. Those are the steps that you take as you are researching. I'm giving you the steps. Define a research problem, then come up with a statement problem that is validating that problem, okay? Or showing to us who don't know that it is a problem, proving to us that it is indeed a problem. Then the next step that you go through is what is called literature review. Literature review, that's the second step. These are the steps that are involved even when you're coming. Actually, these are chapters of a research proposal. Literature review. Literature review. Okay, literature review. What are you doing under literature review? First of all, are you still having me, or am I still having you, or I've lost you? Are we still together?
Yeah, clear.
Thank you. Theoretical literature review. Okay, and the B1 is empirical. I'll explain what this means. What do we mean by theoretical literature review? If you remember very well, when I started teaching you statistics many years ago, I brought a topic. There was a topic that was called hypothesis testing, if you remember it. It was about testing the validity of the statements that people speak or that people bring forward. So what usually happens is that I want to explain in detail how we develop a theory. Let me just say like this. The way how it is done, It is done like this. For example, let me just give you, for example, of this research. I have analyzed I'll comment much on the impact of the exchange rates and on import demand. No one has ever done that, for example, right? Then I want to develop a theory. Okay? As I develop a theory, I will establish the impact of this, okay? Then I will write in my book that exchange rates have got such an impact on what? On import demand. And this is according to me. And once other researchers, starting from my department in the university, have agreed that no one else has ever researched, my research is new, they will know that this is original work from Arion. Then it will go, I'm showing you the development process, it will go on a regional level, like the entire Africa, or the continental level. You know, we will try to compare with other researchers, see if it's original. Other researchers at that level agree, okay? Then we take it at world level. World level, all other researchers have agreed that I am the only one who has said that, like who has developed that, okay? It goes through that. All other researchers have tested it before. Then it becomes a what? A theory. So in your writing, follow me nicely. In your writing, every time we write a literature, to avoid the plagiarism, you're going to be quoting, right? You cite. You say, according to Arion, okay, 2023, he said the exchange rate have got a positive impact on what? On import demand. That is a theory, okay? Now, listen carefully. I want you to understand what it means by, what we mean by theoretical literature review. So you are going to get different what? Theories, like a lot of theories that are there to support what you're saying. Okay. Sir, speak like someone who is a specialist in this course. What you're saying is not very clear. Now listen, let me bring it a little bit lower so that you may get it. Okay, let's look at the impact of what influences earnings, salaries, right? What do you think influences, what determines salaries? Let's say salaries is a Y variable, right? It is Y variable. The salaries are being influenced by, you remember that equation, the regression line, beta naught 1 plus beta naught 1, followed by, I'm giving you the equation. What is the first thing impacting salaries? Our Y is salaries. Let's say experience, right? Work experience. You remember these regression lines from statistics. Experience, right? What else do you think impacts the salaries? That's our beta 2. The other variable impacting the Y variable. Sorry?
Qualification.
Education. Did you say education?
I said qualification or education.
Oh, qualification. Let's say education. Thank you. Let us say education, maybe education, learning, right? The number of years that someone has spent in school. What else? That will be beta 3 now. Like these are variables. Okay, beta 3. What is the other variable? I want you to understand research properly so that you don't have problems even in next year.
Age.
Sorry?
Age. The age of someone.
Age. Okay, thank you. Let's just leave them, just these 3. We have established that what impacts the salaries, let's say you suggest, right? You suggest that what impacts the salaries, it is the experience, it is the education, and the age, right? That is what has been established. But we want to examine maybe the impact of what? Impact of education. What you are interested in is the impact of education on salaries. But you will not just put education only as the X variable only. You also include these other variables. You add all these other variables that you think they impact what? They impact salaries. But now, listen carefully. Before you choose, what you're interested in is the impact of education and salaries. Now, before you choose these other variables such as experience, age, what to add into the model so that the model can become correctly specified, you need to go back to theory. I'm trying to communicate to you what it means by theoretical literature review. You have to go back to theory. The question is that who told you that experience, are you following my question? Experience has an impact on what? On salaries. So you should have some backing from literature, from theories. The theories that are established, for example, the great Keynesian theory of 1936 of Keynes, that said even the government is very important in the handling of the entire economy. I just gave you that. But there are many theories that were established. There's a Grossman model, and there are many other theories that were expounded by different people. So when you go back to read and research, reading books and the literature, articles, there should be somewhere a certain theory that is supporting the impact of a work experience on salaries. Okay? So if there is no theory, get this clearly. If you have failed to find a theory anywhere that says that experience has an impact on salary, then this variable experience will not be in your model. You will not include it. Even if you think in your head, I think experience impacts, as long as there is no book that you have read, and by that book, you should know the author of that book, we should know the author of that book, we should know the year when that book was, not just the book, when that theory was expounded, where was the research done? We should be aware of where exactly the research was done about the impact of the salary and the experience. So if that's what theoretical literature review is all about. Then we go to age. Oh, even age impacts, okay? Then the question is, who told you? Then it should be theory that teaches you that age has an impact. If you have not found anywhere, you haven't found anywhere in theory, there is no theory that supports that age has got an impact. There is no one who has ever researched like that. We don't have such a standing theory. Please, then you don't add age. We will not accept it because there is no theory. You can't be saying it from your head that you just imagine these variables, you're just imagining them. No, it should be supported by theory that this has, has an impact. Okay. Then, so theoretical literature review is about going back in the history, reading the books and the articles available in that topic, okay, to look for theories that support the variables, that support that the variables that you want to add in the model have got an impact on the Y variable or on the dependent variable. Have you understood on the theoretical literature review? You are looking for theories. It's from the word theory. Did you get it? Do I have any question on that one? Okay, are we all together? Like, are you able to get me? All right.
Yes, yes, I have a question.
It's a question?
Yes.
Yes, go ahead.
Just want to find out, since you are saying when you're doing this research, it has to be authentic. It has to be something that has not yet been done. Now, on the theoretical, if you are the first one to do that, now how do you get the literature to back what you're saying if you are the first one to do it?
Oh, okay, I get the point. Thank you. Look, I have highlighted the impact. I'm just interested in the impact of education. Like, for example, no one has ever researched on the impact of education on salaries, you get. But other people have researched on other variables such as experience and the age. So I will add those, what has already been done by other researchers in the model, just to correctly specify the model. But what is new, what is mine, is the impact of these two. No one has ever questioned. You get it? No one has ever questioned if education has an impact on salary, for example. You get it, eh? Does that help?
Okay, so what you're saying is in the equation, you add your own views, and then to back you add also what has already been researched.
Exactly. So what you are interested to find out, it is not there. You can't find it anywhere. Since you are looking, you are the first one to look for that variable. You understand? You can just add the variable, and it should not be more than one. It's just one variable that you are getting. Okay. You want to understand the impact of that variable on the other variable, how they are related. Okay.
Okay, it's clear now. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. So now, when we go to empirical literature review, what is under empirical literature review now? Remember, when you talked about theoretical literature review, you have studied the theory, right? You have found a theory. So before you bring this variable into the model, you have to ask your question such as, where was the research done? Was this research tested? Since it was done by only one person, for example, it was done here in Zambia, you want to ask yourself, where else was it done? Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
On the theoretical, so if the component that you are looking for, it has never been, like, it is not in any book.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go ahead. No one has ever researched about it, and it is not written anywhere.
Okay.
Are you getting me?
Yeah, we can get you. Come again now. Bring your question.
Yes, I was saying, if the component, like maybe the way you were saying, if it is if it is age on how is it impacting the salaries. So you are trying to check in the research in the books, and then you're not able to find
A theory.
any piece of information about it.
Mm-hmm.
Is it all right? Can you go ahead, or it's automatically?
Oh, okay. Yeah, this for example, age. These age experience. These are just supporting variables so that the model can be correctly specified. You cannot add this one if it's not the one that you are interested in. All the supporting variables, they should be coming from theory. Okay. But if you are investigating on the impact, for example, of age, then if that is what you are looking for, then you don't expect it to find it anywhere. You understand the impact? You don't expect it to find it anywhere. So you can go ahead. The only thing that you are allowed to add, which is not anywhere, is what you are looking for, because it's not anywhere. It's new, it's original. Yeah,
Right,
but the other variables that you're not looking for, you are expected to find them from somewhere. They should be somewhere. Okay, thank you. So now on the empirical literature review, you ask yourself, where was it established that experience has an impact on salaries? Or it was experienced, for example, in Zambia, at the University of Zambia by someone. What is the name? by maybe Peter Nyangulu or someone. Okay. Then the question should be, where else? Because we don't want just the research that is valid in Zambia and then we generalize. No. Where else was such a similar research done? Oh, no, this same research was repeated in South Africa. Actually, it was tested. Someone tested this theory. They repeated the same method in South Africa, and the findings that they found were the same. They found that experience has an impact on salaries. Okay, that's in Africa. Where else? No, this same research actually, it was also repeated maybe in Russia. And it was repeated at such a, maybe at Rudin University by this person. Okay, and what were the findings? It was found out that actually it has got a positive impact. There should be consistency throughout. That is what empirical literature review is all about. Empirical literature, by the way, the word empirical comes from the word evidence. Evidence. Where was it like? Where else was it tested and it proved to stand? Is that clear? So, on the part of theoretical, you add the theory that supports each variable. You bring, by you to upload the variable, you have to pull out the theory. So even on empirical literature review, you have to pull out the empiricals that support the theoretical ones, so that the theoretical ones support the what? The variables. So a variable should be supported by both theoretical and empirical literature review. And once you do that, Nish, you are done with the second stage. Are we fine? Okay. Then the third stage that you do, you form hypotheses. Okay. This is very easy now. You remember hypothesis testing? Do you remember hypothesis testing? Form hypothesis now. That's the third stage. Formulation of the hypothesis. In short, restructure a question. How do you formulate the hypothesis? You say, there is, hello? Go ahead.
Yes, there's someone. Yeah. On the part of the empirical with theoretical. So the information that you gather on the empirical part, is it the information that is already in the books or your suggestion or your proposal? What do you include?
Okay, thank you. It is published. It's there in books. That's why it's empirical literature. It's evidence. You're showing us that apart from this research being done at the University of Zambia by Peter Nyambo, it was also done at the University, Mandela University in South Africa, or the Cape Town University. It was repeated by this one. He did it the same way. Those are written down in books. They are there. Okay, and actually what this person found out is this same, he found the same findings. Actually, this same research, it was also repeated in Russia at Rudin University. And actually it was done like this. It was also repeated at Harvard in such a year by such a person. And he found out the same results. That is what empirical literature review is all about. You got it?
Okay.
Yeah. So you formulate the hypothesis that there is an impact on this, on such. There is, for example, I'll give you mine. Like I said, there is a positive impact. That's a hypothesis that was being formed. The now hypothesis was there is a positive impact between exchange rates and the import demand. That's a hypothesis, right? Then I have to test the hypothesis during the research time. I'll have to check whether indeed there is a positive impact or not. That's what hypothesis formulating is. Then research design is the next stage that you do, the fourth one. You do a research design. We'll show you how to do these. These are just the steps that you follow. Research design. Once you have designed the research, then you do data collection. Okay, this is now data collection. You have to collect data, of course, from dependable sources. What is data collection? The data collection, you have to collect data about those variables that you found, okay? Collect that data about those variables. After you have collected the data about those variables, then what follows next? You do data analysis. Data what? These are sections and chapters of the research proposal. Data analysis. And actually, here on data analysis, you need to be given skills on how to analyze data. One of the very rare skills that are there. That's why there are even courses, the courses that you can do on data analysis. You can learn how to do data analysis using Excel, data analysis using SPSS, which is a statistical package for social sciences, data analysis using Stata, data analysis using eViews, data analysis using R. You can use the data analysis, different statistical packages to analyze data. We'll show you how to analyze data. Don't worry. We'll go through these steps one by one. Then the last stage, which is stage number 7, you interpret. You interpret the data. And then on number 8, you write a report, a research report, or on your findings, and even put recommendations in your report. So we show you how we write the research report. The research report, you not write it this year. This one, you do it in 4th year. But from chapter 1 up to 7 is what you're doing this year. And once you learn this, then you come up with a proposal and you end on chapter 7. You do the roadmap, on this after that. Then coming next year, when you do the actual research, which is starting from actually data analysis and data collection and analysis and the interpretation reporting will be done when you will be doing research project in 4th year, and then you report. We'll do this. So the journey that you have taken, it is actually a 2 years journey. This year, of course, you focus, you even write some tests, but the focus, just know that it's not the end of it. That's not the ultimate goal. Okay. The ultimate goal is that you should go beyond and the research ultimately, and write a research report.